Okay, so we are done with the methods in finding the roots of linear equation. Now we will move to finding the roots of non-linear equation. So a system of nonlinear equation is a system of two or more equations in two or more variables containing at least one equation that is not linear. So we have methods in finding nonlinear equation. Yung unang pag-uusapan natin is the bisection method. Okay? So, bisection method is a straightforward technique to find the numerical solutions to an equation in one unknown. It is the simplest one to solve the transcendental equation among all the numerical methods. When we say transcendental equation, these are the equations involving more complicated terms such as like the trigonometric, yung hyperbolic, yung exponential, or yung logarithmic function. Kasi yung unang pinag-isapan natin, yung last topics natin is finding the roots of a polynomial that is referred as algebraic equation, yung equation that can be cast in the form of polynomials. Dito naman sa nonlinear equation, ang pag-uusapan natin is the finding the roots of a transcendental equation. These are the trigonometric, hyperbolic, exponential, or logarithmic function. Okay? So, yung unang method natin is the bisection method. Bisection method is used to find the roots of equation. Sabi nga natin, nonlinear equation. The bisection method is an approximation method to find the roots of a given equation by repeatedly dividing the interval. This method will divide the interval until the resulting interval is found, which is extremely small. Okay? So we have here the methods or the procedure of bisection method. So first, to evaluate a nonlinear equation to find the roots of a nonlinear equation using bisection method, first thing is you have to find 2 points. So you have to find 2 points. Say, meron kayong point A and meron kayong point B at which is function f has different sides. So yung function nung point A and point B has different sign. And that A, yung point A natin is smaller than yung point B natin. And yung function of point A natin multiplied the function of point B natin is less than 0. So, yan yung unang gagawin ninyo. You have to find points, 2 points, that the function of these 2 points, the product of the function of these 2 points is less than 0. And then the point, say yung point A natin is less than point B. So, yun yung unang step na gagawin natin. The second step is we have to find the midpoint of these 2 points. So, yung after ninyo mahanap yung points A and B, you have to find the midpoints of this point. So, yung midpoint natin, which is denoted by Pn, that is equal to the point A plus point B over 2. That's the midpoint of the points that you have selected. After finding its midpoint, yung step 3 natin is to evaluate now the Pn. Evaluate now our Pn. So if the function of our midpoint multiply the function of our point B is less than 0, then the Pn, yung midpoint, yung Pn natin is the new A of the next iteration. So, pag ito daw, yung function ng Pn multiply the function of P is less than 0, yung Pn natin sa next iteration is yun yung new point natin. Okay? Otherwise, yung Pn natin is the new point B natin sa ating next iteration. Okay? Yan yung step 3. And then yung step 4, so we just have to repeat step yung second step natin, and then yung third step natin until no error. So, dapat until wala tayong error. So, iterative din siya. I-iterate natin siya hanggang wala siyang error. If b minus bn is less than error, so yung error natin must be equal to 0, if not approximately 0.001 for accuracy. So, para accurate talaga, your error must be or approximately equal to 0. Then, accept m as the root and stop. Doon lang kayo mag-stop and yung root natin, yun na yung value. Okay? Yung root na natin is yung pn natin. Tsaka lang tayo mag-stop pag yung error natin is 0, if not approximately 0.001. Okay? So, to understand further yung ating step, yung bisection method in finding the roots of a nonlinear equation, we have to take an example. Okay? So we have here a sample problem. So we have to find the positive root. So positive root daw yung kukunin natin of the function x4 raised to 4 minus 7. So this is not linear equation. Raised to 4 pa lang, hindi na siya linear. Okay? Kasi ang linear, just yung linear natin, yung variable natin, wala dapat siyang raised to second, raised to third, or raised to fourth. Okay? Using the bisection method. Okay? So sabi natin, ang first step natin is we have to find 2 points, say A and B. Okay? So in this equation, we have to find 2 points. Okay? Since the function is continuous, we have to first find an appropriate starting interval. Okay? So we have to, let's say, we have to assume a starting interval. So in this problem, we have to assume yung assumption natin will start at 0. Okay? So in the equation, yung function daw ng x natin is equal to x raised to 4 minus 7. Okay. Start tayo sa 0. Okay. Then, pataas siya. Let's say 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay. And then, we have to substitute yung value ng x in the given equation, in this given equation, para makuha natin yung function niya. So, let's say we have to start yung x natin is, say, we have 0. Okay. 1 and 2. Okay. So, say, yung 0 na ito, isubstitute natin dito sa equation, like 0 raised to 4 minus 7, ang function natin ngayon, pag x natin is 0, is equal to negative 7. Okay. Next, pag ang x naman natin is 1, ang function of x natin, substitute lang natin yung 1 dito sa equation. That is 1 raised to 4 minus 7. Ilan yun? That is negative 6. And then, say we have 2. We have to substitute x is equal to 2 in this equation. So, makukuha natin is 2 raised to 4 minus 7. That is 9. Okay. So, say, dyan lang. Mag-stop na tayo dyan. So, ang sabi natin dito, yung function has different signs and that a, yung point a natin is less than b and yung function of a multiplied the function of b is less than 0. So looking at this equation, hindi natin pwedeng kunin yung 0 and 1 as points, di ba? Kasi pag minultiply nyo yung function of 0 and function of 1, that would result to a positive value and that is not less than 0. So, kailangan natin yung function ng 2 points, the product of the function of 2 points is less than 0. So, pag 0 and 1 yung kinuha mo, hindi siya pwede kasi eto pa lang, hindi na siya nag-agree doon sa bisection method procedure natin. Kasi pag minultiply nyo ang negative tsaka negative, positive ang lalabas. And positive number is not less than 0. Okay? So, yung 1 and 2 naman, yung 1 and 2, pwede itong 1 and 2. Yung 0.1 is less than 2. Yung 1 is less than 2. That is correct. And then yung function ng 0.1 which is negative 6 and function ng 0.2 which is 9, if we multiply these two, ang lalabas dyan negative value. And any negative value is less than 0. Kaya pasok tayo dito sa bisection method procedure na function of A multiplied with function of B is less than 0. Okay? So, ang kukunin natin ngayon dito is yung 0.1 natin is 1. So, yung first point natin is 1. So, yung, let's say, A is equal to 1 and yung B natin is equal to 2. Yan. So, A is less than B. That is correct. Function of A multiplied by the function of B is less than 0. Correct din. So, pasok tayo doon sa limit ng ating bisection method. Okay? So, after, ito yung step 1 natin. So, after finding the 2 points, sabi natin, yung step 2 natin is to solve for the midpoint, yung Pn, that is A plus B over 2. So, yung Pn natin is equal to 1 plus 2 over 2 is equal to, ilan ito? 1.5. So, yan yung magiging Pn natin. Okay? So, para mas madali natin ma-solve yung iteration ng bisection method, mag-create tayo ng table para hindi tayo malito. Okay? So, after finding the value of midpoint, ang susunod na gagawin natin is we have to find the value of function of A, function of B, and function of Pn. So, yan yung pangatlong gagawin natin. By substituting the values in the given equation. So, paano natin makuha yung function of 1? Yung function of A, which is equal to 1. Ito na yung function of A natin, that is negative 6. Function of B, ito na din yung function of B natin, that is 9. And then, how to solve for the function of Pn? So, we just have to substitute 1.5 dito sa ating equation. So, that is 1.5 raised to 4 minus 7. That is the value of function of P. Okay? So, para hindi tayo malito, okay, meron tayong table dito. So, yung equation natin is x raised to 4 minus 7. That is our equation. Okay? So, yung point A natin, that is 1. Yung na-solve natin kanina. Yung B natin, that is 2. Yung Pn natin, that is 1.5. Yung function of A natin is na-solve natin kanina, that is negative 6. So, you just have to multiply yung value ng A natin dito sa equation, that is 1. And yung function of B natin is 9. And yung function of Pn natin is equal to negative 1.93750. Okay. So, ito, isubstitute lang natin itong value ng A, B, and Pn dito sa ating equation para makuha natin yung function. Okay? So, ito, para ma-solve natin yung accuracy natin. Ito. Yung B minus Pn. So, ito yung magiging error kasi natin. Kasi sabi nga natin dito, ito, if B minus Pn is less than or equal to error, or error must be equal to 0, dyan lang tayo mag-stop. So, kailangan nating isolve yung B minus Pn. Okay? So, B minus Pn, so 2 minus 1.5, that is 0.5. Okay? And then, we also need to find the value of the function of b multiplied by the function of pn. Kasi ito yung magiging batayan natin kung anong value yung susunod natin, yung iteration natin number 2. So, ito kasi yung magdidictate kung ano yung value ng a and b natin sa next. Kaya kailangan nating isolve ito. Kasi yan nga yung ating step 3. So, if pn multiplied by fp is less than 0, then yung pn natin is our new a. Otherwise, yung pn natin is the new b. Okay? So, we need to find the value of this. So, the function of b, nasan yung function of b natin? 9. Multiplied function of pn, which is 1.5, that is equal to negative 17.4375. So, kindly check if my calculation is correct. So, ito yung FB natin. Ito yung FB natin. And ito yung FPN natin. So, you just have to multiply these two. Ito yung kalalabasan. Negative 17.4375. Okay. So, sabi natin, if this is negative, yung value daw natin sa next interval, yung A natin is equal to Pn pag negative ito. Okay? Ulitin ko. Pag negative daw yung value natin, pag minultiply natin yung function ng B, multiply the function ng Pn natin, yung midpoint and yung point 2 natin, pag negative daw siya, ang value ng next interval natin na A is yung Pn. Okay? So, yung next A natin is Pn. And yung B natin is the same pa rin siya. Yung B. Okay? Pag ang lumabas naman dito is positive. Pag positive naman yung lumabas dito, yung Pn natin dito is yung value ng B dito sa next. Okay? And then yung A natin parehas. Okay, ganun yun. So, ulitin ko lang. So, if function of b multiplied by function of pn is negative, then yung a natin sa next interval is equal to pn. Otherwise, yung b natin is equal to pn. Okay. So, since negative yung lumabas na value natin dito, yung magiging value natin sa a sa next interval natin is equal to pn, that is 1.5. And yung b pa rin natin is equal to 2. Yan. So, pn pa rin natin, that is equal to a plus b over 2. So, yung pn natin dito, 1.5 plus 2 over 2, that is 1.75. Okay? So, you just have to solve the function of a. So, isubstitute nyo yung 1.5 dito sa equation. Yung function of b, isubstitute nyo yung value ng b dito sa equation. And yung function ng pn or the midpoint, substitute nyo lang yung 1.75 dito sa equation. So, the function of a is equal to negative 1.9375. Yung function of b, 9 pa rin. And then, yung function of our midpoint, that is 2.37891. Okay? And then, yung b minus pn natin is 0.25. So, malayo pa tayo, hindi pa ito equal to 0. So, dapat yung b minus pn daw natin is equal or approximately 0, tsaka pa lang tayo mag-stop. Okay? So, yung function of p multiplied by function of pn is equal to, ilan ito? That is 21. So, that is 21.41. Okay. So, yung nakuha natin dito is positive. So, meaning, yung next iteration natin, yung b is equal to yung pn, that is 1.75. Otherwise, pag negative ito, yung A natin dito is yung PN. Pero positive siya, kaya yung B natin is yung PN. Okay? So, yung A pa rin natin is 1.5. Okay? So, kukunin natin yung midpoint nito, substitute lang dito sa equation. Ang value natin dito is 1.625. 5. And then getting the functions of the values of A, B, and Pn, that is equal to 1.9375. This is equal to 2.37891. Yung FPN natin is negative 0.02710. So kindly check or kindly calculate if my calculation is correct. And then yung B minus PN natin is equal to 0.125. And then ito, yung value natin dito sa last column natin is equal to this value. So just have to multiply function of B multiplied by function of Pn. Okay. Ngayon naman, etong value natin negative. So yung A natin is yung Pn. Kasi negative nga. So yung A natin is yung value ng Pn natin. This is 1.625. Okay? So yung B pa rin natin is 1.75. So getting the midpoint of this, that is 1.6875. So, uulit-ulitin lang natin yung gagawin natin hanggang ito, yung B minus Pn, mag-equal or approximately 0. Tsaka pa lang tayo mag-stop. Okay? So, function of A is equal to, that is, function of B. So, i-check nyo na lang pag tama yung calculation ko. And function of Pn, B minus Pn, and then function of B multiplied by function of Pn, that is, okay, positive na naman. So, yung value natin for A, parehas pa rin. And then, yung value ng B natin is the value of Pn, nung last. Kasi positive nga. So, that is 1.6875. Okay? So, yung Pn nitong dalawa, yung midpoint niya, that is 65625. So, yung Pn, substitute lang yung A plus B over 2 kasi midpoint. Okay? Yung function ng A, B, and Pn is equal to this value. So, kindly check na lang. So, if mapapansin nyo, inuulit lang natin yung solutions natin. Okay? So, hanggang sa maging yung B minus Pn natin is 0 or approximately 0 para accurate yung ating solution. Okay? So, positive na naman siya. So, yung P natin is the value of our Pn. Okay? So, parehas pa rin yung A natin. So, solving for value of Pn, and then yung function of A natin, yung function of B natin, yung function of Pn natin, yung function B minus Pn natin. So, uulit-ulitin lang natin siya, okay? Okay, so ang lumabas, positive. So, yung next interval natin, yung Pn pa rin yung ating values, yung B natin, ang value natin is Pn kasi positive yung lumabas. So, ang A natin is the same as the previous interval. Okay, so solving for the Pn, that is equal to function of P, parehas pa rin siya kasi parehas yung value natin. Function of B, function of Pn, B minus Pn. Okay, malapit na tayo sa 0. Para approximate, tatlong 0 yung kukunin natin dito para mas accurate yung ating answer. Okay, positive pa rin. So, yung next interval natin, ang B natin is yung Pn. And yung A natin is the same. Okay? So, yung interval natin, so kindly check na lang if my calculation is correct. So, yung functions natin, yung FPN natin, that is 0.04019619. Yung B minus PN natin, 003. Okay, malapit na tayong mag-0. 0.004339. Okay. So, paulit-ulit lang natin gagawin. Okay. Yung nakuha natin dito, positive. Kaya yung B pa rin yung PN natin. So, that is 1.62890625. And then, yung A natin is the same. So, solving for our PN, this 1.625 plus 1.6890625 over 2, that is equal to this value. Okay, yung function natin, yan. Yung function natin dito, ayan. And then yung function ng Pn natin, okay, B minus Pn. So, i-minus nyo lang ito. B minus Pn, yun lang. Ito. Okay, malapit na tayong mag-0. So, actually, pwede na ito kasi 0.00195 is equal to approximately 0. Pero para mas accurate yung value natin, 3 zeros tayo. 0.001 dapat yung makukuha natin para mas accurate. Okay, positive pa rin siya. So, yung B natin is yung PN natin. Okay? So, yung A pa rin natin is 1.625. So, PN natin, substitute lang natin dyan dito sa equation. Ang value natin dito is 1.625976563. And then, yung function of A natin, yung function of B natin, yung function of Pn natin is 0.01032. And yung B minus Pn natin is 0.00098. And then yung Fp multiplied by Fpn natin is negative 0.000067. Okay. So, we can stop now here at interval 9. Pwede na tayo mag-stop dito sa interval 9 since yung B minus Pn natin is approximately 0. Or yung error natin, ito yung error natin is approximately 0. But you can still iterate for more accurate answer. Okay, so mas accurate yung sagot natin dito sa pag interval pa tayo ng isa, interval 10, mas accurate na ito kasi 3. Sabi nga natin para mas accurate yung approximately 0.001. So, ito, mas accurate yung iteration natin dito. Okay? So, we can stop now our intervals. Okay? So, pwede na tayong mag-stop ng interval. So, ngayon, ang tanong, dito sa na-solve natin, ano ngayon yung value ng ating root? Ano na ngayon yung positive root natin? Okay. So, yan yung tanong natin. Ano na ngayon yung positive root natin? So, saan dyan ang positive root natin? So, yung positive root natin is yung value ng ating Pn. So, ito. Ito na ngayon yung magiging positive root natin. Yung value ng Pn. Approximately 0 yung error. Okay? So, we can stop our interval. So, the answer now, the positive root. So, the positive root of the equation is approximately equal to 1.625 So, eto ngayon yung approximate positive root nung equation natin using our bisection method. So, ganun lang yung method ng bisection. So, uulit-ulitin nyo lang yan hanggang yung error natin is maging 0 or approximately 0. Okay? So, ganyan lang siya. So, ito na yung sagot natin, 1.625976563. Okay? Let's have another example. So, let's have another example. Okay. So, we have to find the positive root of this equation using the bisection method. Okay. So, our equation is this. Okay. So, yung first unang gagawin natin is we need to find 2 points. Sabi niya, 2 points. That the point 1 is less than point 2, and if we multiply the function of point 1 multiplied by the function of point 2, yung result dapat is less than 0. Okay. So, let's start by assuming yung x natin is 0. Okay, pag x natin is 0, yung function of x natin is equal to negative 1. Okay, paano nakuha itong negative 1? You just have to substitute yung x value natin dito sa equation. Okay, so that is 0 raised to 6 minus 0 minus 1, that is negative 1. Okay, so let's say our next is 1. So, mag-start tayo sa 0, tapos interval natin is by 1 para mas accurate. Para pag gusto nyo pang mas accurate, mas liitan nyo pa yung interval niya. Okay? So, interval natin is 1. So, 0, 1. Okay, pag sinubstitute nyo yung x value na 1 dito sa ating equation, ang function of x natin is equal to 1. Okay? And then, hindi ito pwedeng, ito yung 2 points nyo. Hindi pwedeng yung point 1 is 0 and yung point 2 is 1. Since pag minultiply yung function nung dalawa, magre-result sa positive. And dapat daw negative yung result nung pag minultiply yung dalawang function. Okay? So, let's try 2. Okay. Pwede din yung interval ninyo. Let's say yung interval ninyo 0. Tapos next 0.05. And then yung next 1. You have a 0.5 interval. Pwede din yun. Okay? So, next 2. Pag sinubstitute natin yung 2 dito, ang makukuha natin 61. Okay? So, yung point 1 natin, yung A natin is equal to 1 and yung B natin is equal to 2. That is, A is less than to 2. Okay siya. Yung function of A multiplied by yung function of B is less than 0 ba? So, that is negative 1 multiplied by 61 is less than 0. Okay siya. Okay. So, yung magiging A natin is 1 and yung magiging B natin is 2. Okay. So, we use A is 1 and B is 2. Yung interval natin dito is 1. Okay? So, pwede, sabi ko nga, pwede din yung interval ninyo is 0.25. Let's say, nagsimula kayo sa 0. Tapos, next interval ninyo, 0.25. Yung next interval ninyo, 0.5. Pwede din yun. Okay? So, eto, meron tayong value ng A and B. So, yung second step natin, we need to find the value of our midpoint, Pn. So, Pn is equal to 0.1 plus 0.2 over 2. So, yung 0.1 natin, 1, and yung 0.2 natin, 2 is equal to, this value is equal to 1.5. So, yan yung ating Pn sa ating first interval. Okay? Then, uulitin natin, ginawa natin sa problem number 1 natin, that if Pn, function of Pn multiplied by the function of point B is less than 0, so that means yung negative, that is less than 0. Then yung Pn natin is our new point A doon sa next interval natin. Otherwise, yung Pn natin is our new point B. Okay? Then, we also have to find the B minus Pn. Yan yung ating error. So, hanggang hindi pa nag-zero or nag-approximately zero yung b minus pn natin, we have to repeat yung steps natin until yung value ng b minus pn or yung ating error is equal to 0. Okay? So, para hindi tayo malito, gawa tayo ng table. Para hindi na natin isa-isahin na ilalagay yung equation, and then solve again, then equation. Okay? So, yung na-solve natin na A is 1. Yung B natin is 2. Yung Pn natin is 1.5. Okay? Yung function of A natin, you just have to simplify this 1, yung value natin doon sa equation natin. And yung equation natin is x raised to 6 minus x minus 1. That is equal to 0. Okay? And then yung pagkuha ng value ng Pn, that is a 0.8 plus point, yung second point natin over 2. Okay. So, yung function of A, substitute lang natin yung 1, yung value natin dito sa A, dito sa equation. Yung function ng B, just have to substitute yung value ng B natin dito, dito sa equation. And yung function ng P, you just have to substitute the value of Pn dito sa ating equation. Okay? So, if we substitute the values, ang makukuha natin, function of 1 is equal to negative 1. Function of B is equal to 61. And function of our midpoint Pn, that is 8.89063. So, that's our function. Okay, to find for the error, we just have to subtract Pn dito sa ating point B, that is B minus Pn, that is 0.5. Okay, so to find our next value ng A or B natin sa next interval, we have to find the value of this function of B multiplied by the function of Pn. So, function of B multiplied by function of Pn is equal to 542.33. Okay. So, ang sabi natin, if function of Pn multiplied by function of P is negative, yung next interval natin, yung value natin ng A is yung Pn. So, pag hindi siya negative, pag positive, yung next interval natin, yung value ng B natin is yung value ng Pn. So, ito, dito, this is positive. So, ang value natin dito is yung value ng B natin is yung value ng Pn natin. So, that is 1.5. Kasi nga, positive ito. Pag negative ito, yung Pn natin dito is the value of A. Okay? So, the same pa rin yung A natin. Okay, solving for Pn, that is 1.25. So, solving for the function, that is 1.0, that is 8.89063. That is 1.56470. Yung B minus Pn natin is 0.25. And we multiplied this value niya is 13.911137. Okay, positive pa rin siya. So, yung B natin dito is the value of our Pn dito. So, that is 1.25. So, 1 pa rin yung ating A. Okay? So, yung Pn natin is 1.125. Negative 1 pa rin yung function of A natin. This is 1.56470. Yung FPN natin is negative 0.09771. And then we have here 0.12500. And then we have here negative 0.152892. Okay, so negative yung nakuha natin dito. So, yung next interval, ang value ng A natin is yung value ng Pn, that is 1.125. And then, the same yung value natin ng B. Okay? And then, the same process, you just have to solve Pn, function of A, function of P, function of Pn, B minus Pn, and the function, product of function of P multiplied by the function of Pn. Okay? So, pag inulit-ulit natin dyan, pang-10 na tayo. So, yung value natin dito is positive. So, ang magiging B natin dito is the value of Pn. Nung last interval, that is 1.3, 47656. And then yung A natin is 1.1328125. Okay, so yung midpoint natin is 1.337891. Function of A, function of B is equal to, and then yung function of Pn natin is equal to, and then yung B minus Pn natin is equal to this value. Okay? And then we have negative. Okay, so we can stop now at 10th interval. Kasi yung error natin, which is this, ito yung error natin, is equal or approximately 0. Kaya we can stop now at interval 10. So, yung magiging root of the equation natin ngayon is approximately this value. Ito na yung magiging root of our equation. So, this is this value. Okay, so that is now our root for our equation. So, ito na yung magiging sagot natin. That is 1.1337891. So, that will be now our answer for problem number 2. The approximate positive root of this equation. So, ito yung value natin. That is 1.1337891. Okay, so that is using bisection method.